It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
We are live right now on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, and my colleague and fellow Hitless executive just hit it. Although we've come to the end,
we're not at the end of the road.
We're not at the end of the road.
Said I
can't let go. You guys got 2 more shows. For those who don't know, the NFL is approaching fishing season.
Carl, there is no.
They will get the Sunday Super Bowl kickoff show. They will get today's show, and they possibly will get a post-game show after the Super Bowl, and then I don't see them again till the NFL draft. So sayonara. Just like every other sport in the sports hit list, they get their offseason. Travis, you have to accept what it is. You will get an offseason. So say what you got to say. Get it off your
First of all, there is no offseason in football. There is only a non-playing season, okay? We not going nowhere, okay?
What? I can't even
non-playing season. It's the non-playing season, because it's
NFL free agency. We can't get the quarterback.
Exactly. Free agency. We here. Listen, come on now.
When Deshaun Watson doesn't get traded.
Put it like this. Carl, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. They here to see us.
Guys, thank you for joining us live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's talk about the trade that happened on the blockbuster trade. We had the Detroit Lions dealing Matthew Stafford to the Los Angeles Rams in exchange for 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and quarterback Jared Goff per sources. 2 former number 1 overall picks trading places in the first blockbuster trade of the 2021 season. Greg, what are your thoughts on the trade? I know you must like it for your fantasy team, right?
Of course, love it, especially for my dynasty team. I think what we're seeing here is the changing of the guard, kind of how LeBron with the decision in the NBA, not quite on that level, but you're seeing NFL teams approach things differently. You would never see 2 number 1 quarterback picks swapped like this, 15, 20 years ago. But as far as the trade goes, I love it for both sides because the Rams get an upgraded quarterback, right? They gave away 2 first-round picks, and they're going to be in the late 20s. But what people are failing to realize is they had to compensate for that awful contract Jared Goff has. And so now that they alleviate themselves of that contract, they're able to add other pieces around what is already a Super Bowl caliber team. And you add Matthew Stafford, who never really had a great defense to help him win. Excellent thrower in football. A lot of people don't realize is he's going to be inside the top 15 in TD passing touchdowns and passing yards all time. So it's not like he's some scrub.
Ray, what are your thoughts on the trade and who won it?
I don't think – to be honest, both teams won. Like Greg said, it's pretty much Super Bowl for the Rams. They have to Super Bowl because you traded away a quarterback that got you to the Super Bowl, that's been to the playoffs the last 3-4 years. So obviously, it's an upgrade. How big an upgrade, we will see. I'm not going to say Matthew Stafford isn't a good quarterback. He is. He is put now in a better situation than he was put in at Detroit. But as of right now, Matthew Stafford is just empty numbers. When he's had this moment to shine, he hasn't lived up to it.
We have to stop this.
Truth. It's the truth. You have the Cowboys game, the playoff game. I can go back.
I keep telling you, the Lions muffed the punt after he put up the punt.
Also, bad no pass interference call cost that game.
Wait a second. It was 20-7 in the second half. They did not score again. That pass interference, he had another chance to win the game. He fumbled that away. So you remember that too. That did happen.
Let me just say this. Cowboys fans always love to complain about how Dez caught it or whatever. A lot of them conveniently forget that they shouldn't have even been in that
game. Listen, we love to do this in the hit list streets. We love to change the narrative when we're talking about we're not talking about the Cowboys. We're talking about like we have to stop doing that. Like, we really have to stop doing that. Like we're not talking about the Cowboys right now.
I didn't bring up the Cowboys.
Go ahead, Ray. Finish your point, man. Go ahead.
Talking about when Matthew Stafford had his opportunities, he hasn't shown up, and that's facts.
Okay, so Travis, what are your thoughts here? Who do you agree with? You agree with Ray or Greg? What are your thoughts on the trade? Who won it? What are your other thoughts when it happened?
Well, first to start off with the trade, man. I think it was a good trade for both sides. The Rams, they were obviously the honeymoon period between Sean McVay and Jared Goff was obviously over, so they had to find a way to get from under that contract that they gave him. It's crazy how both quarterbacks from that draft, the number 1 and number 2 pick, are trying to seem the team seem to be on the fence about him. But to get Matthew Stafford, who, to Ray's point, yes, has not always delivered yet, but he hasn't exactly had the talent around him to help him deliver. We all know Matthew Stafford is a superior arm talent, and because of that, that will get you far in the NFL. A lot of coaches out here, they love to be, they like the relationship, the person in the relationship that think, oh, I can be the one to fix him, even though it hasn't always looked good in other places. So I think if you put Matthew Stafford with Sean McVay, I think that offense will go to another level. And I think that was the issue. My issue with Jared Goff was always that he would have these crazy games where he just threw the game away for the team. Like, he was literally the cause of them losing. So now that you have Matthew Stafford, I think that's the final step, because you already have a top 10, top 5 defense from last year. You have 2 of the top 5 defensive player in all of football. So I think that team was just missing that next level in quarterback play, which hopefully they'll get from Matthew Stafford and take them to the next level.
Declan, what are your thoughts on the trade? And which side are you taking on? Do you agree with what Ray's point or Greg's?
I think, honestly, I see both sides. I've kind of been mixed on Matthew Stafford for a long time. I think that he's had moments where he's average and moments where he's shown that he's a product of the Lions' failed organization. And I mean that with no disrespect to the Detroit Lions. Let's just put it out there now. They did it to Barry Sanders.
In other words, all disrespect to the Detroit Lions.
They did it to Megatron. I'm definitely kind of in between on the Matt Stafford, but I'll probably side more towards Greg. I think that Stafford is going to look good, for the Rams. But I also think that a lot of his, and I know this is Ray's favorite topic ever, a lot of Matt Stafford's stats as to why he gets in the top 15 all time, we have to acknowledge that garbage time did play a role.
We got to stop doing this.
It's the truth.
Garbage time is.
I've been on Ray about this all year. The definition of garbage time stats.
If your defense is consistently in the bottom 5 of the league, you're always playing from behind. So
which
you're
would
going
be
to throw
time
the ball.
If you're playing from behind by that much.
But if you're trying to play to win, you're going to throw the ball. So
right, who defines what's garbage time? Like.
Well, when you're down big in the second half,
if you're still within opportunity to win the game, then it's not garbage time stats.
Matt Stafford
is one of the league leaders in fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives since he's been in the league. So what are we really talking about?
So we're going to Greg's point, if that's the case, y'all going to call all those fourth quarter comebacks garbage time stats?
No, because garbage.
Exactly. So what's the difference?
Garbage time stats are what when you're down big. And you're throwing the ball. And it means
I'm pretty sure in a lot of those fourth quarter comebacks, Matthew Stafford was down big. So
Greg, what's up, man? What's your point?
He wasn't making.
He was down by 2 touchdowns. That's not garbage time.
Mike Phillips called Matthew Stafford a bum. I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of quarterbacks in the league that would not be able to pull off what Matthew Stafford did playing for one of the worst organizations in all of sports.
What did he pull off, though?
He's top 15 all time in touchdowns and yards.
That's garbage. He played in the dome. He played 8 games in the dome.
Here you go with the dome again. Oh, my God.
The dome means something, but not.
Can I make a prediction? Right here, right now.
Go ahead.
Matthew Stafford is going to throw between 4,800 and 5,000 yards and throw for between 40 and 45 TDs next year and be mentioned in potential MVP discussions.
That is
I'm gonna disagree with that one, Greg.
That's ridiculous.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
He's not Patrick Mahomes.
The Rams are
he doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes.
The Rams are a very heavy run team. Sean McVay, he likes to. He's more like we all know
because Jared Goff isn't the elite passer that Matthew Stafford is.
Wait a second.
I still don't see it. I still don't see that. I still don't see it going that far. He's gonna have a great season, but I don't see him.
Okay, so the president of the Laker Nation Brooklyn division, Mr. Anthony Mullen, had a question to ask the panel. He said, and I quote, y'all need somebody.
Carl, why are we asking questions from people who don't watch football?
Because he asked the question. I don't know. I thought it was a fair question.
All right.
So he said, why a number one pick in Stafford don't get the criticism that Lamar and Cam and others get?
Because he hasn't done it.
They're not the talent. They're not the talent that Matthew Stafford is. Sorry.
He hasn't won. Matthew Stafford hasn't won anything. Like, Lamar gets the criticism because he's an MVP. So people are going to hold him to an MVP.
People were criticizing Lamar before he was even in the league.
That level. He's a good quarterback. That's why.
But because you have to understand that in the NFL, these coaches, they fall in love with arm talent.
You know what?
Whether you want to say it or not, Matthew Stafford is a superior arm talent. So therefore, the NFL is going to love him.
Knowing Anthony, but you know what? Knowing Anthony and the root of his question, I think it had to do with the black or white issue. Just knowing right. So he's basically insinuating that black quarterbacks get a lot more criticized for not doing well as opposed to a white quarterback who doesn't do as well.
We already know that, though.
Yeah, we know that.
But we got he's trying to, like, he got Cam and Lamar. They both are MVP winners. They're gonna be held a little bit more higher than Matthew Stafford. Like, no one.
And they have two totally different styles of football of playing quarterback.
Is it fair to say, though, that with this trade, the Rams were able to make it to the playoffs this season, but the Lions didn't? So in role reversal, that means the expectation is that when you make a trade, your teams get better. So that means the Rams would still have to make the playoffs. And the Lions would have to make the playoffs too.
Lions are not making the playoffs. The Lions
are not making the playoffs. There's nothing the Lions. All right, the Lions are just trying to start a rebuild, and maybe they're either going to use Jared Goff as a bridge quarterback, or they really like what they see, and they're like, okay, this is the guy we want to roll with. We don't want to take a QB in the next.
Okay, so Ray, what's your point? The Lions are not making the playoffs.
No, no one cares about. They're not going to make the playoffs regardless. The Rams have to win the Super Bowl. That's pretty much how they're going to validate this trade. I mean, you traded away a guy who led you to a Super Bowl. He's made the playoffs 3 out of the last 4 years. Matthew Stafford, winning the division means nothing. Goff did that. Getting to the Super Bowl means nothing. Goff did that too. He really has to win the Super Bowl now because I
agree there.
I have to agree with that.
I agree with that.
All right, well, here's the thing.
Upgrade from Goff. He is an upgrade.
Super Bowl or bust.
Absolutely. They're going for broke. Definitely.
Yeah, they're going for broke. They got a 2-3 year window, so they got to win within the 2-3 years.
Yeah, of course, they got to win within their time. Not like next year.
If they go to the conference,
I give them 3 to 4.
If they go to the conference championship next year, I don't think that's a failure of a season. I think that proves that they took a major jump and now they got something to build on.
I think it would depend on how they played in the conference championship. Also, Carl, ask your guy Mike Phillips who was his supplier.
Are you guys still beefing?
Yeah, he just said that we're talking real numbers, not fantasy numbers. What kind of statement is that when in actuality
he said Stafford benched in week 10?
I did just say that.
That's gotta throw Mikey some love. Gotta throw him some love. But
in all fairness though, that prediction was crazy as hell, man.
Oh no, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. And what?
But by all means, Matthew Stafford isn't a trash quarterback. I don't know who's saying. I've never said he's trash. He's a good quarterback. He just hasn't shown up when he had the moments to show up.
Let me put it to y'all in these terms, right? There's probably only one more team more dysfunctional than the Jets, and that is the Detroit Lions.
That's fair to say.
I don't know
about that one.
Well, the Cowboys are up there too. I mean, they've been America's team, and they haven't done a lot.
He said the Cowboys.
No, but you have to look beyond that, though. You have to look at who they drafted and the positions they've drafted. I mean, where have they hit after Megatron?
Well, let's also look at this. Like, go ahead, Ray.
And then what they do with him? They didn't re-sign him.
All right.
Well, that's good. Yeah, they didn't, but he wanted.
Let's talk about all these guys, right? Like, first of all, the Lions have made the playoffs multiple times within the last decade. The Jets have not even made it once. And we'll look at that quickly. But, like, the Jets also have drafted guys like D. Milliner, Calvin Pryor, all these guys in the first round. The Jets are literally a first-round bust, completely off the charts. And if they get a first-rounder they hit on, it'll be Jamal Adams and Leonard Williams, who are both playing for different teams now.
Okay. Let me ask this question. Let me see if someone can
Christian Hackenberg in the second round.
Let me see if someone can fill in the blank. Deshaun Watson will be on what team next year?
Bro, get that man's name right.
Stop saying Deshaun, bro.
Deshaun.
It's Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun. Or whatever his mama named him. Where will he end up next year?
Oh God.
I think he
Philip said the
he holds
Texans are
out.
pretty dysfunctional. That is true, but they're also not as old as I am, so I'm not going to get on them for their historically low franchise. I will say that.
So does he stay or go? Where does he end up?
Well, I was going to answer your question now. You know what? Deshaun Watson will be a Houston Texan next year. He's not going anywhere.
I actually think he's going to hold out because he refuses to play for the organization, and the Texans are going to screw themselves like they've been doing, and by him holding out and taking whatever fines, his value is going to plummet because now they know it's good. Whoever is trading for him, he's not going to be worth the value that he's now in the offseason before the draft.
Well, here's the thing: like the Texans can play hardball essentially, and honestly, if I'm a Jets fan, I almost want them to because for whatever reason, I feel like if he's going anywhere, and I don't think he is, but if they ever put the pieces together, I think he would wind up going to Miami. And I think that's something that would put the Jets back 10, 15 years. Obviously, we're a New York sports talk show. That's where we're based out of. So I think it's nice to kind of mention that. Like the Jets could be in purgatory for over a decade if Deshaun Watson went to Miami, dealing with him and Josh Allen, who are both top 5 quarterbacks. And they will be for, like I said, a decade.
You just had to sneak Josh Allen in there. Then you couldn't even.
I had to let you know. Well, he's in that division. That's a fair game.
He did it again. That's twice now. That's twice he's done that now.
That's once today.
I mean,
I didn't mention Josh Allen today.
No, but that's twice that you changed the narrative to somebody else when we're talking about.
No, I didn't. But we're talking. All right, that is true. But I didn't change it to the Cowboys. Ray mentioned the Cowboys about how Matt Stafford played in the playoffs.
Okay, so Watson is staying where he's at. Greg, you saying the same thing?
I think for half the year, yes.
Half the year.
And then he ends up getting traded.
At the deadline?
Travis?
Maybe before that.
I think he's gone. I mean, the Texans can't be this dumb. I mean, they just
Really?
can't be. They can't be. Like, there's just no way you can blow the opportunity to get the draft. Like, we all agree that the trade has to happen before the draft, right?
Yeah.
It should.
So therefore, you can't be that dumb to sit here and blow this opportunity to get a replacement quarterback to replace him. Like you just can't. This can't be the first move of the guy, the new GM. Like this can't be your first move. We see it. He does not want to play there. He has leverage there because he can hold out. He's okay with holding out. He has the trade. He has the no trade clause, so he gets to some degree dictate where he's going. I just can't see the Texans being this dumb and dropping the ball on this. I just can't. Like
I don't
know where he doesn't have any money. He doesn't have it. Put it like this: his leverage is where he goes, is where he's traded.
trade
yes,
for.
but not if
Right.
he goes. I feel like
Yes, but so that's about the amount of leverage that he has. But if he's willing to sit out and take that money and take those L's and that money, then he does have leverage in a way.
Yeah.
Because they have no backup. Like, who's their backup?
So Travis, you don't see him going. You don't know where he's going to end up.
They also have no first or second round picks this year.
Because I know the Jets Nation wants to hear that he's coming there. My issue is that I've heard reports that he doesn't necessarily want a Carmelo Anthony situation where they have to give up the farm to get him, and once he gets there, that there's nothing there. I feel like yes, from the Texans standpoint organization, the Jets is the best trading option for them. For Deshaun Watson, I'm not necessarily sure about that because I feel like you're gonna have to give up a lot.
I disagree with that.
Okay,
Ray. Okay.
Go ahead, Ray.
Me, he has to go. They're gonna trade him because it's not gonna be a good look for the Texans. If players are watching, if the way the Texans operate, if they just have him hold out, that's gonna look bad on them if they're really trying to get free agents or anything like that. So they really have no choice but to trade him. So just get your first round picks back as much as you can and just move on.
But where? If he has to be traded.
Wherever they can get the best deal and whatever. he has a no trade clause, so he also has to accept it. So, I mean, Travis, like you said, it is going to be a Carmelo Anthony deal because they're not going
to. I don't think every team has to give up the farm to get him though.
I mean, you're looking at least. I mean, the minimum.
At least 3 first-round picks. At least.
Yes, yeah. Oh, you agree.
Here's the thing.
But all right, I've been trying not to say it. I don't want to mention my team because we heard reports about the Panthers.
Do it. Go in on the Panthers. Let's go.
The Panthers don't have to give up the farm to get him. If they give up the 3 first-round picks, when he gets there, there's still talent there for him to play with.
Talent for y'all, yeah, you're right. But not every team can say that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
here's the thing about that trade situation. First of all, teams in the league and what everyone needs to understand is that they know that the Texans, they know that Deshaun Watson wants out. So they know the Texans kind of, not that they have to trade him, but they're in a position where it's the best option for them is to trade him. So if the Texans have leverage in these have no leverage in these trade talks to the point where, like, who's going to say, all right, let me give you everything because I know you got to trade him. They're going to lowball them at first, and that could make some potential suitors kind of be forced out of the way here. Like, I think the only place that really works would be Miami because they can send the 3 pick and then, Houston could take a guy like Fields or Zach Wilson, whoever they want to draft with that pick. And then Deshaun Watson goes to Miami and Allen Robinson joins him.
Another thing, this trade has to happen soon because it's gonna be a lot of quarterback carousel this offseason. Yeah. And now we already see there's one team off the table at this point, or at least 2, the Rams and the Lions. So therefore, you have to get this trade done soon.
And
would you say Deshaun Watson? Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
Hold on. Shout out to Chuck because he said Houston has no leverage, and I agree with him.
That's what I just said. I get no shout outs on the freaking show.
Bro, relax. You're on the panel. Relax. I'm reading the comment section.
It's called fan interaction.
Interaction, something I just said 2 seconds ago.
Oh man, you're gonna get yours. Don't worry.
All right, thank you. You can call me emotional, Greg. Remember that.
I'm not that. I'm a little emotional.
But Houston has no draft picks, so if they want to get a deal done, for their sake, the best would be before the draft. And for those of you guys like Declan, Travis, and Mike that were saying the Jets will give up too much, the Jets probably have more draft capital to give away because of the amount of picks that Joe Douglas has stockpiled.
So what's a good deal?
Agreed. But yes, you have the most picks to give away.
What'd you say, Rick?
What's a deal for the Jets? Like, give a good, like, what do you think a good deal? You're not like, oh man, we gave up too much, but it's a fair deal for them. What do you think?
So for me, it would be the 2 firsts this year, the 1 first next year, and either a second or a third in either year, or Sam Darnold.
And now, just to play devil's advocate, how is that not going to hurt you guys?
Right,
because they still have $70 million in cap, and they still have stockpile picks.
One, you're not going to have that much. You're not going to have that much in cap because Deshaun Watson coming there is going to eat up some of that cap.
No, I think he only makes $10 million this year.
Right, but Greg, though, but what's really giving up? But you know what, Greg? But what's really giving up too much when the Jets really have been using their picks and it hasn't gotten them anywhere? But now you have a strategy to possibly get a game-changing player that could shift your franchise. Why not go all in and give it all up?
I'm in the camp where if you can get the Deshaun Watson, you do it because one. The Jets have never had a franchise quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. The Jets have never had a franchise
quarterback. You had Mark Sanchez. Come on now.
Travis, I will drive to PA in the snow and I will fight you. Okay.
All the way to Mike, Pennsylvania.
And you have the opportunity to land a top 5 quarterback talent. And we already know how hard it is to get top 5 quarterback talent. And you're in a division where sooner or later, you're going to need that type of talent to win. So why
Come on,
not?
Man. Joe Namath was a franchise quarterback, right?
Joe Namath is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in football history.
Eli Manning will always be the best quarterback in New York sports history.
Can we shout out our own Manny Schefter out here with his pick-me mentality out here? the Raiders, we got picks. Nobody want to go to no Raiders, man. Get out of here.
So he just gave up on Carr, huh?
I guess.
Right. But back to Greg's point, though. My issue with, yes, you guys, like I said, from an organization standpoint, the Texans and the Jets is the best trading options for them. But for Deshaun, I feel like giving up those picks, yes. But once Deshaun gets there, what do you have now? Because yes, you have picks still left, but we're talking 2, maybe 3 years before those picks start to develop, and
Not
we see
necessarily.
that they're ready to roll with Deshaun Watson.
If we go by Joe Douglas's track record in Seattle when he drafted and won them that Super Bowl,
he was not the GM. Stop! I keep telling you that.
Wait, I thought he was.
No, he was he was in the organization, but he wasn't. John Schneider has been the GM since Pete Carroll got there.
I read something where he was involved in.
He was somewhere in the organization. I don't know what
Joe
he did.
Douglas was involved with the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. That might be what it is.
I know there was an organization he was involved in with building talent. What'd you say, Ray?
Why does he want to go to the Jets? Like, that's just weird to me. Like, why? Why the Jets?
Well, it's the New York market, number one. That's the top primary thing.
That's a plus.
The New York market is like, he could be marketed as like, clearly the Giants have a developing quarterback, but he's already there, and that can market him. He could get so many deals with just the New York fan base.
He can do that.
But like, also, what has that done for Sam Darnold? And
I don't think Sam Darnold is as marketable though as Watson.
It's not even close.
Not even close as Tom was marketed. Marketability is a big thing too.
Hold on, if you take a quarterback, go ahead, Ray.
As long as you're good, you're gonna get deals. You're gonna get endorsement deals.
I think it's different. It's not the same. It's not the same.
20 years ago, it used to be the way Carl said it. Like, New York was the capital. I mean, the media capital.
It still is. What do you mean?
No. Wait, let me finish. It still is, but the internet has, to Ray's point, the internet has kind of balanced it out just a little bit. But New York is still a place where you want to be for endorsement wise.
Listen, endorsements would come flying to him. Listen, endorsements would come flying to him. So I think the fact that, like the markets of New York, LA, those are the places you want to be, top places you want to be. So I think that may be a forefront for him to come here. And if you think about it, he could be the savior of the Jets franchise. Why wouldn't you want to be the focal point to save a franchise that needs?
He was supposed to be the savior of the Texans. Look how that worked out.
No, right, but I'm saying he could be the savior of the Jets. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing: like, what has the Jets shown you to think that? Like, we've seen them.
That's another point. They have no history of showing that they are a successful organization. But I hear he's a big fan of Robert Saleh, though. So that was the other thing I wanted to mention. He told the organization, like, I think his top two choices were Saleh and Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah. Special shout out to CJ from Weapons Hot. You can check out his show on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. He covers all Jets news. You can check him out on Sundays at 7:00. Moving along, we have the awards that will be given out in the NFL on Saturday, the day before the Super Bowl. So today we wanted to give our predictions for the awards. Let me start off with Comeback Player of the Year. Ray, who do you have in that category?
Comeback Player of the Year. I'm going to give it to Alex Smith.
He's going Alex Smith. Travis?
That's easy. Alex Smith, he gets that one.
Yeah, I would say Alex Smith across the board, honestly. He wasn't supposed to play football.
He made the playoffs, like, from a simple that's easy.
I mean, this guy was almost not alive.
So is everyone going Alex Smith across the board? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Nope. And it's Andrew Luck next year.
Okay.
You know what? He might have some. There was a report about something.
He already won it once.
He's going to win it again.
To his credit, I heard a report today about some leaked screenshots. I don't know how valid they are, about somebody in the organization, the owner, having conversations with Andrew Luck. And how he misses
Jim
football.
Irsay cannot be trusted, though.
I don't think it was from Jim Irsay. I think it was somebody in the organization.
Ray, back to your point. According to the Jets congregation, he wants to come to New York. So you'd have to ask him why. I don't know, but he wants to come play.
I don't really understand it either.
But he wants to come play here. So I don't know. Listen, if he could be that saving grace for the Jets, and he knows he can do that.
I mean, without a doubt, they'll lock up a proven top 5 quarterback. I mean, that's the start. But my thing is, like, what has the Jets shown for him to be like, I want to go to the Jets? Like,
it's the coach, man. It's the coaching staff.
But what they haven't shown anything. They're new. We don't know anything about the coach.
But you know what? It's the same, right? It's the same thing as Melo. Why did Melo want to come play for the Knicks? Like he wanted to come get here. It's the same thing. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's fair. He did.
What about the Jets? Like, tells you historically and now, what tells you that the Jets are not going to ruin him like the Texans did?
How do you ruin something that's already proven?
Because he's always
according to Chuck,
right
he has
off.
family and friends in the area. So there you go. See, it's the same thing as Melo. He has ties in New York. So you kind of want to play here. You have ties in New York. All right, moving along. Coach of the year. Who we got? Greg.
I'm gonna go with Stefanski in Cleveland. Getting the Browns to the playoffs is a major feat in itself.
Hold on, time out. We're making sure this is for the regular season, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we know how you like to. We know how you like to fumble that. So just make sure you're clear, because we know how you go do when it comes to award picking.
Sir.
We don't forget.
Unbelievable.
Yes, you. I'm talking to you. We know you.
I never included anything that happened in the playoffs.
All right, just making sure you know
I always go off regular season, but okay, I'm just making sure.
yeah. So
I'm gonna go Stefanski.
Travis.
I feel like the panel is gonna go Stefanski, so I'm gonna throw a wild card. I'm gonna go Ron Rivera, man. I mean, to beat cancer. I mean, and still.
Are you going with the feel good story?
Not even. I'm on the field too. To go with the quarterback carousel issue that you had in Washington, to take Washington and win that. I mean, yes, the division was terrible, but hey, you still had to win the division. He had the foresight early to say, hey, this division is winnable, so therefore I gotta pull you, Dwayne Haskins, because this division it's winnable. So I gotta give him that, man. You beat cancer, you took a sorry organization to the playoffs, and you had a quarterback carousel going on. I gotta give you Coach of the Year, man. In your first year there.
Ray?
I'm going Flores. No one thought Miami would even win 10 games.
That's a good pick.
I like what Flores is doing, especially from last year, the way they started, how they were getting blown out to now. No one would have thought Miami would have won 10 games. And he did that with Tua and Fitzpatrick. The defense looks good, and it just looks like a bright future for Miami. So that's my pick is Flores, even though they didn't make the playoffs. But that's where I would go.
Declan.
I'd love to pick Sean McDermott to make us all have different picks. And I think, Travis said he was in the minority, but I got to go with Ron Rivera also. I mean, I think you kind of hit it on the head completely. I don't even know if there's much to say. The guy beat cancer. And he had a quarterback, and then he found two quarterbacks that were more serviceable. Kyle Allen gets injured, and then Alex Smith, who, I mean, we already hit on Alex Smith why he's comeback player of the year. They won 6 of their last 8 games. So for that, Ron Rivera has, if I had a vote, which obviously I don't, if I had a vote, it would be Ron Rivera.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, Travis.
This is a good one.
This was a good one. I mean, I'm going to give it to the kid in Minnesota. What was his name?
Justin Jefferson.
That's the team. He came from your team.
What?
He came from LSU. You don't even know his name? I can't remember his name.
Embarrassing.
But to come in the situation that because he had a slow start to the season, if you think about it. To come in the situation that he came in with Diggs being traded, and to have to come with that pressure of kind of replacing Diggs and to live up to that first round pick. I mean, he produced, and we all know Kirk Cousins isn't exactly, the best of the quarterbacks in the world. So to be able to put up those numbers with Adam Thielen on the other side of you, man, I got to give it to him on that.
Greg?
I like Justin Jefferson a lot, but I'm going to have to go with Justin Herbert in San Diego. Well, no, I'm sorry, they're LA now. The Chargers rookie quarterback broke the rookie touchdown record, and he did it with no running game, with Austin Eckler hurt almost like 80% of the year. And Keenan Allen was his main target, and Mike Williams was super inconsistent. He didn't really have a second go-to target. I think by the end of the season, his number 2 is Jalen Guyton. I don't even think guys know who that is. So I'm going to go with Justin Herbert.
Ray.
I'm going with Herbert as well. I don't think no one's seen this coming. Like an Oregon quarterback, like they have a history of not really doing that in the NFL, and he just came out there like he killed it. Like if it wasn't for a couple games, they could have really had a chance to have a winning record. So that's who I'm going with is Herbert.
Declan.
Yeah, out of the battle of the Justins, it's going to be a battle of the two Justins. I'm going to have to go with Justin Herbert as well. I mean, this is a guy who not only broke the rookie touchdown record, he shattered it. He's the only rookie quarterback to ever throw for over 30 touchdowns. He threw for 31 and rushed for 5, so that's 36 total. That's another record there for most total touchdowns for a rookie. Essentially a 67% completion percentage, which for a rookie is insane. He threw for well over 4,000 yards, 4.3. And, whether you guys believe in quarterback rating or not, 98.3 is
I
very
don't.
good. Well, I do in terms of when it's close. But, 100 for quarterback rating is excellent. This is probably an argument you'll hear for Justin Jefferson is that he had one of the best rookie seasons all time for a wide receiver, and that is true, at least the best since Odell. He broke Antoine Bolden's record. Antoine Bolden's record, and Quan. I knew I said something wrong. But this is a quarterback who probably had the best, if not the best rookie season of a QB all time. This is a team that should have won 11 games easily. That's with Derwin James out.
For those who are tuning in and probably wondering why we're not covering NBA, the NFL is getting its last flowers of its due in its last Wednesday
I don't think anyone's wondering
on vacation. No, but clearly, no. You know what, Travis? Let me tell you, the numbers are up though. We're keeping that 21. So special shout out to the 21 people who are watching. And again, the reason why there's no basketball, we're not talking about any other sports because we're letting the NFL get their exit out. Okay, so they're gonna get today. They're gonna get
nothing to talk about with the NBA. That's why.
There's a lot. Listen, there was a great Nets and Clippers game on last night. So there's a lot to talk about. We don't even know what's going on.
I had to ruffle some feathers though. I threw out a little Lob City love, and
I saw you were capping there, buddy. Calm yourself. You were capping there. We could talk about that later on.
I was here to ruffle some feathers because I knew that there would be no NBA today.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, Greg.
I'm gonna go with Antoine Winfield Jr. in Tampa Bay.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Travis.
This was a tough one for me because statistically, I wanted to go Homer with Jeremy Chin down in Carolina. He had a big season for us, but I have to give Chase Young for the simple impact that he had on that team. To come in as a rookie and to not only come in and lead your team in sacks in 7.5 as a rookie, but to be named a captain and to get that team to the playoffs, that's pretty impressive in my book. So I got to give him that.
So
I'm going to go with Chase Young.
I thought about that, but I went with Winfield Jr. because I think it's harder to come in and start in the secondary than it is on the D line.
Especially
in terms of schemes.
Ray,
I really wanted to go
year.
Chet. I really did, but I got that captain and getting him to the playoffs. I had to go with Chase.
I'm going to go with Chase as well. Like Travis said, he made a lot of points. You don't really see too many defensive rookies come in and they get put in as a captain, especially on the defensive side. So his impact was definitely great for that team, even though they do have a lot of first rounders. But you can tell, like, once he got on that team, that's when everybody started noticing that D line. So, I'm going to go with Chase Young.
Declan, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
First of all, thanks for making me last so everyone could take my pick. No, just kidding. Chase Young, everyone knows it. I feel like it's got to be him.
Okay, so let me start with you for Rookie of the Year. Let's start with Declan first, so no one would take your pick.
We just did him.
We did Rookie of the Year.
Also, they don't have
it's just
offensive player of the year.
Oh, okay. So now let's get to the regular Offensive Player of the Year. Declan?
Offensive Year. A lot of people are going to give it to Derrick Henry for his insane rushing season. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right. A lot of people are going to give it to DH Tutu for his sick year, but I'm going to have to give it to Josh Allen for parity's sake and also for the fact that we had a huge breakout and a huge improvement from last year. I mean, geez, what did he have? A 58% completion percentage, and now he's got a 68, and he's elite. And 45 total touchdowns, just insane. Took that team to the playoffs with an average defense, won 13 games or 12 games, whatever it was. So that he's got my pick for sure.
Okay. Ray.
I'm going Devontae Adams.
Whoa. I like that.
2 games and still put up 17 touchdowns. It's crazy.
Damn.
Travis?
I like that. That's good.
That was a good one. I mean, I'm going to go with Derrick Henry simply because, getting 2,000 yards, now leading the league in rushing back-to-back years, man. I got to give him that. But, man, that Devontae Adams, that's a good one. I like that one.
Okay, Greg.
I'm going to go Travis Kelce. Broke the record for tight ends in terms of yards in a season. He was actually second in the league in receiving yards, and this is he's done something no tight end in history has done in his 5th straight 1,000-yard season.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why the hit list is so far. we just gave 4 different picks for an award, and there's a legit argument for all 4 of them. You know what?
Right.
What else can be
I'm
said?
surprised I'm the only one who went Derrick Henry. Good, I like that one. That was
Okay,
good.
so Rick is chiming in. He goes piggy off of Declan pick of Josh Allen. I go with Stephon Diggs as offensive player of the year. He made Josh Allen. Ooh.
Ooh.
Who said that?
Rick said that.
You know what? No, that's
Are you
hold
kidding
on. Oh, let me get that for you. Let me get that for you, Declan.
Why are you going to get this?
Hold on, let me get that for you.
I agree with Rick.
It's hard to say that
Whoa,
he made
Declan,
him.
throw in the towel, brother. Throw in the towel on that one.
Why would I throw in the towel?
It's hard to say that he made him when you had Cole Beasley make second team All Pro and another 1,000-yard receiver.
Wait, but you have to be specific. Cole Beasley made second team All Pro as a slot receiver. It wasn't as they designated a specification
Because
for
of
it.
Josh Allen.
Still,
Has
that
he made that before? Did he make that with Romo?
That was his first 1,000-yard receiving, and to make second Cole Beasley make second
We
team
can
All Pro.
argue. We can argue that Stephon Diggs is the reason Cole Beasley also made second team All Pro.
I could agree with that too.
Yeah, we can argue that. Or we can argue.
He said Stephon made Beasley too. That's what Rick said.
Hold on. Can I argue this, please? First of all, year three for quarterbacks is probably the most important year for a rookie quarterback to develop and to excel. And we saw Josh Allen do just that. Listen, Stephon Diggs is not responsible for Josh Allen's legs. His legs have been consistently there for all 3 years of his career so far, and he was phenomenal, and he's great on the run. Listen, Stephon Diggs doesn't throw the ball 70 yards either for Josh Allen. Let's just put it out there. This is a guy you can improve, but when you have a drastic improvement like that, it's on the man himself. And you know what? I'm going to say it, guys. Stephon Diggs was a great piece, but Josh Allen carried the Buffalo Bills to the AFC Championship game with an average defense and Stephon Diggs and no running game. You can't lead the team in rushing in the playoff game. There wasn't a Bills rusher not named Josh Allen that rushed for over 28 yards in the playoffs this year. So please, I'd like to hear that it was Stephon Diggs one more time.
All right. And speaking of defense, Travis, let me start with you. Defensive player of the year.
Man, I'm gonna go JJ. I'm not TJ Watt in this one, man.
Oh,
the Watt brothers. It's too
What about
many.
Derek had a good year.
TJ Watt.
Declan,
we was about to have some serious issues, bro.
Declan, who you got?
Listen, TJ Watt had a great year, 15 sacks, and he didn't even play week 17. I'm going to have to, after Rick kind of took me to the woodshed, I'm going to have to give him some love to Xavier Howard, the corner. First guy to have double-digit picks since 2007. I think it was Antonio Cromartie. This guy was locked down. He was getting all these balls and was really just going off. He was a legitimate ball hawk from the corner position, which is something we don't see a lot of. Obviously, we haven't seen something this dominant since 2007. Revis-type stuff there. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go Howard for Defensive Player of the Year.
Greg.
I'm going to have to go with Aaron Donald again. Another 13.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. He just changes the complexion of every single game when he's in there. And on top of that, he wasn't even healthy the entire year and still did this.
And
what he does is ridiculous, man.
I gotta go with Donald, man, because you've seen his impact alone at the playoff game. Like, he wasn't even playing all the snaps, and you've seen how that affected that defense and how Green Bay Packers was basically doing what they wanted. I mean, Donald. Watt has a great case as well, but I can't go. Donald.
You know what amazes me? The way Donald is able to move around the line.
Yeah. He's that.
So Pete, I think Pete's talking to you. He says, "Are you a Bills fan now?"
No, I just like being right. Respectfully.
You sound like Andres. Oh my God.
That's why I said it.
So finally, let's move along to the most valuable player. Travis, we know how you do when it comes to you tend to look at.
Let me go last. Then.
We know what you like to do. For those who don't know, Travis likes to look at what the players' opinions are saying when he's picking.
I got to be honest.
That's what he does.
I had a ton of water during this program, so I think we're all going to make our MVP picks. And then when Travis does his little 10-minute soliloquy, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Grab through him and grab some water. I may do the same thing too.
I'm pretty sure this is an easy one, but
okay, Declan. Let me start with you. Declan, go ahead.
Appreciate it. Listen, Daniel Jones was just kidding.
I was going to say, Carl, cut him off now. Cut him off.
Now, how quickly we forget about the original State Farm man himself. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP of this year. He had an outstanding season. Took Green Bay again. I think we can say him and Devontae Adams. The three tandems of wide receiver quarterback duos are Devontae Adams and Rodgers, Kelsey and Hill, and Allen and Diggs in no particular order. So to say, I would say that every great quarterback has a receiver that puts in work for them.
Hold on. Do you remember when, I forgot who said it, but somebody said Rudy Giuliani always says a noun, verb, and 9/11. I feel like every time Declan is on, it's a noun, verb, and Josh Allen.
Listen, 9/11, Rudy Giuliani used that to boost his political career, and obviously it didn't work. I'm going to use Josh Allen to boost my sports, whatever this is, bro.
Your sports analytic career.
Yes.
Josh Allen had nothing to do with the MVP conversation, but
yes, he does. He's in the top three. Hold on. He's absolutely in the top three. If not, honestly, Josh Allen is second, in my opinion. And I've seen that in a lot of places, by the way.
It's okay. Skip Bayless built an entire career on hating LeBron.
But see,
he's going to build his career on loving Josh Allen.
No, this is not what I'm going to build my career on. Skip Bayless has never been right about LeBron James.
You know what? For every time you've mentioned Josh Allen during any NFL segment, I would have paid off all my school loans by now. If I had a dollar for every time you mentioned Josh Allen, I would have paid off all my school loans. And I have a shitload of money in school loans, bro.
And you know what?
So
maybe
it would have been paid off by the.
If you got a dollar every time I mentioned Josh Allen, you'd have enough money to fly a private jet so you can go be on Top Chef.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true, too. All right, so he's going Aaron Rodgers. Greg, do you agree with that?
No, I don't. I'm actually going with Derrick Henry.
You're going with Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I'm going with Derrick Henry, too. He did something this year that only, I think, 7 other people in NFL history have done. And on top of that, without Derrick Henry, I don't think the Titans even make the playoffs.
Okay. Ray?
Now, here's my thing. I know I said this earlier. If a running back wins the division, his team wins the division, and they get 2K, I got to go with them. But Green Bay and the Packers played against each other in the late of the season, and I didn't notice Derrick Henry at all. So,
is this a one-game award or a regular season award? What are we doing?
But when it's close, you got to take that head-to-head matchup sometimes.
That was a head-to-head matchup, and to be honest, I don't really know. I don't know a moment of Derrick Henry besides him getting a lot of yards against trash defenses, which is fine. I'm fine with it, but that was the moment.
He always goes to the competition.
You sure you wasn't stuck at sea for a couple months, bro? Your brain scrambled, your brain fried. Like, what are you even saying right now?
No, that was the moment for Derrick Henry, and he didn't show up. Aaron Rodgers has been consistent all year besides the Buccaneers game. So I'm Aaron Rodgers.
Let's not act like Aaron Rodgers.
Listen, I think I kind of know Ray's play. He's all about showing up. He's all about showing up in big games and significant
Ray,
games.
Who did you pick?
He went Aaron Rodgers. Okay. So Travis, you can either decide to go with the Aaron Rodgers squad, or Greg on the solo Derrick Henry, or go on your own path. Who you got?
This was a simple one. This was not even a difficult year. It's Aaron Rodgers. To even come at Greg's point, like you said, if you remove Derrick Henry from the Titans, they're not the same team. If you remove Aaron Rodgers from the Packers, they're picking in the top 5. Like, come on now. They got the number 1 seed in the NFC, man, which they wanted. They wanted everybody to go through Green Bay. It didn't work out for them. But still, Aaron Rodgers had an amazing season, man. He gets the MVP.
So those are our predictions for the awards. We will have NFL Sunday kickoff for the Super Bowl. So, tradition, we have our NFL kickoff. Does anyone want to make their predictions early, or we're going to wait till Sunday?
Again, we got to get them to come back, Carl. Why would we give it away now?
Because someone could change their pick. So Ray, are you coming on Sunday?
No, I got to work. Some admiral decided to come to my command. So,
what's this admiral deal? He don't watch the Super Bowl. What's up with him?
Admiral wants to come to my command.
He's a Packers fan.
So everybody got to be at work.
Okay, so who's your pick and why?
After thinking about it.
Hold on, wait. You get a drum roll.
Right, Ray, because you won. You won the season pick. So this.
No, who you got? Who you got and why?
I'm going with the Bucks. The Chiefs losing both of their tackles, I think that's going to be a big. I don't think they're going to be able to handle that. JPP, Zach Barron, they're going to be all over Mahomes. He's going to have to pull, and I don't see him putting a Superman performance. And I'm just going with the Bucks. I'm not going to go against Tom Brady again. So give me the Bucks. I said it.
Okay, he's going with the Bucks. I think we have a special guest, Ziggy Zig, coming through. I think it's connected to his audio. I don't know why he's pulling up.
Hold on, Carl. I just want you to know, keep this same energy when we want to come jump in. You know what I'm saying? When y'all want to talk NBA all day.
No, Ziggy, are you trying to send them off? Are you trying to send them off?
Always send the NBA players in here, but all right, keep that same energy when we want the code to get in here.
You know, it's funny, Trav doing all that crying and complaining. Y'all been on here for at least an hour, so you know I never seen the NBA get no time like that. But I just got the call to pull up. I'm gonna just ignore you. I got the call to just pull up, so I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm just here peeping the scene, you know, as executive.
Wait, you got the call?
Carl, you back up?
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, B. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I'm here to peep the scene.
Listen, I see people pulling up. I don't know who else is pulling up. It wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. I actually got class in like 8 minutes. It wasn't me.
Yo,
what's going on?
Oh my God, what is this? Okay, I know what this is. Oh my God, I know what this is.
You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
Oh yeah.
That's why I said I'm gonna ignore you, Trav.
And Phil, you know what? And you know what? Phil never pulls up either. He never comes onto the show, and they got. I know
Carl,
what this is
I
about.
don't want to hear none of that. What happened to the post? What happened to the?
On the great football that we going on. Carl trying to run the clock out. He trying to run the clock out. He got
class. I do got class.
I got class. Real convenient on Wednesday. You got class. No promo.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
You doing a whole Wednesday show. Where my segment at, Carl?
It's not my fault. I had to cut it short, so the NFL is going to finish out. That's why I changed it.
No, you got time. We got time.
You got time.
We got 7 minutes.
Don't run.
Yo, Carl, let me get that statement, bro.
Make that statement right here. You trying to run?
We're listening.
Right.
You know dead air on live air is no good, Carl. So let's go.
I have a stuttering issue. I had to get on the bus when I was a kid.
Stutter that ass to make that statement.
The Los Angeles Lakers are the greatest franchise in NBA history.
I can't hear you, bro.
I said
I hear it again.
I said it. The Los Angeles Lakers are the greatest franchise in NBA history.
Yeah.
How that feel, Carl? How your soul feel right now?
Say it with your chest.
Ooh,
it hurts.
So, side note, we have Declan hurt by transitive property because he is also a Celtics fan.
And I blame Greg because Greg gave out the code to let everybody else pull up. I know it was
as he should. You were about to go back on the bet.
You sucker, low ball and sucker. That's what he is. I wasn't there whole time but I can't because we live. I won't call you the B word.
You know,
I'm not gonna say. I should say.
Good job, Greg. And he was ducking. I forgot about it. Good job, Greg.
Greg said, "I'll get you back, Greg. What's up?"
You know NWO rolls deep, bro. Come on.
Listen, forget y'all, man. Listen.
It's for life, man.
Tune in for this one.
I hate y'all. I hate all y'all.
Nah, but hold on. Greg gave the code, but Carl, you had to let them in. I mean, you're the bouncer right now.
Somebody get this picture for me.
What is this?
Me and Carl.
I was curious. What?
Somebody get this screenshot of me and Carl.
Before I let you guys go real quick.
Easier to get in the Capitol.
Let me get Ray, your prediction for Sunday's game. Who you got?
Which one?
Ray Jog. Well, Ray already got yours, but Ray Jog, let me get your pick real quick.
I got the Chiefs winning somewhere in the vicinity of like a 27-23, 34-31, somewhere in that range. It's going to be a good game. The Chiefs repeat.
All right. Phil, who you got?
I'm going Chiefs. 40 to 34.
Zig?
Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs.
And Anthony, I know what your answer is going to be already.
You already know. Colin Kaepernick, baby. Super Bowl MVP. Nah, bro. If I had to pick, I got the Chiefs.
You got the Chiefs.
Get that old man out of here.
All right, you guys take care. I'll see the rest of you for Sunday football. And as I stated before, I'm a man of my word. The Lakers are the greatest franchise. Yeah, I said it. I'll say it one more time.
Yo, call my speaker's right now. Say it again.
The Lakers are the greatest franchise in NBA history. Have a good day.
Yes, sir.
F you all. Good night.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.